August 22nd, 2024. 8:47 p.m. Cristiano Ronaldo walked past his 7-year-old daughter Alana's bedroom and heard crying. He pushed open the door and found her standing in front of the mirror, tears streaming down her face, holding her mother's makeup. "Alana, what's wrong?" She turned to him with those big brown eyes and asked a question that stopped his heart. "Papa, am I pretty?" He smiled and said what any father would say. "Of course you are, baby. You're beautiful." What she said next, what she'd been hiding, what social media had done to his little girl, shattered Cristiano completely. And what he did in response would spark a global conversation about raising daughters in the age of Instagram. August 22nd, 2024. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It was a normal Thursday evening in the Ronaldo household. Georgina was putting the younger kids to bed. Cristiano had just finished a recovery session in his home gym. He was walking upstairs to shower when he heard it. Soft crying, coming from Alana's room. Alana was 7 years old, born in November 2017. Cristiano and Georgina's first biological child together. A beautiful little girl with dark curly hair, olive skin, and her father's intense eyes. She was usually happy, bubbly, full of energy. But lately, Cristiano had noticed her becoming quieter, more withdrawn. He'd mentioned it to Georgina. "Is Alana okay? She seems different." Georgina had shrugged. "She's 7. Growing up. Probably just a phase." But standing outside her door now, hearing her cry, Cristiano knew it wasn't just a phase. He knocked gently. "Alana? Baby, can I come in?" The crying stopped abruptly.
"Oh, yes, Papa."
He opened the door, and his heart broke at what he saw. Alana was standing in front of her full-length mirror. She'd dragged her little vanity chair over to reach Georgina's makeup on the high shelf. Lipstick, eyeshadow,
Blush.
all spread out on the floor. And Alana's face. She'd attempted to put on makeup, but didn't know how. Lipstick smeared outside her lip line. Eyeshadow uneven and too dark. Blush in patches. She looked like a little girl playing dress-up. But she wasn't playing. She was crying. "Alana, what are you doing?" Cristiano asked gently, walking into the room. She turned to him, mascara running down her cheeks. "I'm trying to be pretty, Papa. Like Mama. Like the ladies in your pictures." Cristiano knelt down to her level. "Baby, you're pretty. You don't need makeup." She shook her head vigorously. "No, I'm not. I'm not pretty. Everyone says so." Cristiano felt a chill. Everyone? Who's everyone? Alana looked down at her feet.
"People on the internet.
On Instagram. On TikTok. They say mean things about me." Cristiano's stomach dropped.
"What?"
"Alana, you don't have Instagram or TikTok. You're 7 years old." She fidgeted with her hands. "I know. But I look at yours. And Mama's. When you post pictures of me. And I read the comments. Oh God." Cristiano posted family photos all the time. Millions of followers. Thousands of comments. He'd never thought about what those comments said about his children. Never thought his 7-year-old daughter was reading them. "What do the comments say, baby?" Cristiano asked, dreading the answer. Alana's bottom lip trembled. "They say I'm not as pretty as Mama. They say I got your nose, and it's too big for a girl. They say my hair is too curly and messy. They say I'm fat. They say if I'm your daughter and Georgina's daughter, I should be prettier than I am. They say I'm disappointing." Each word was a knife in Cristiano's heart. His 7-year-old daughter.
His baby.
Being torn apart by strangers on the internet. "Alana, those people are wrong. They're mean. They don't know you. But she interrupted him. "But Papa, there are so many of them. Hundreds. Thousands. They can't all be wrong, can they? If so many people say I'm not pretty. Maybe it's true. Maybe I'm just not." She looked at herself in the mirror with such sadness. Such shame. And Cristiano realized his little girl was already learning to hate herself. At 7 years old. "Is that why you're wearing makeup?" Cristiano asked gently. Alana nodded. "I thought if I looked more like Mama, if I was prettier, maybe people would be nicer." Maybe they'd say good things instead of mean things. Maybe then I'd be good enough. The word enough hit Cristiano like a truck. His 7-year-old daughter didn't feel like she was enough because of internet comments from people who'd never met her, never held her, never seen her laugh or play or be the amazing little girl she was. He wanted to say the right thing, wanted to fix this, make it better. So he did what seemed natural. He pulled her into a hug and said, "Alana, you are beautiful. You are more than enough. Those people are wrong. Don't listen to them." She hugged him back, but then pulled away and looked at him with those heartbreaking eyes. "But Papa, if I'm so beautiful, why do you never say it except when I'm crying? Why don't you tell me I'm pretty every day like you tell Mama?" And that question exposed something Cristiano hadn't realized. He told Georgina she was beautiful constantly, multiple times a day, in front of the kids, in posts online, everywhere. But Alana? When was the last time he'd told his daughter she was beautiful? Not as a response to her being upset, but just randomly, because he thought it, because he wanted her to know. He couldn't remember, and his silence was an answer. Alana saw it in his face, the realization that he'd failed her, and she looked back at the mirror.
See?
Even you don't think I'm pretty. You just say it to make me feel better. But it's not true.
Cristiano's heart shattered.
No, baby. That's not. But what he said next made everything worse. Cristiano, desperate to fix this, said the first thing that came to mind. "Alana, you're beautiful. You look just like your mother. You have her eyes, her smile, but Alana cut him off, her voice sharp. "No, I don't. That's the problem. Everyone says I should look like Mama, but I don't. I look like you. And everyone says you're handsome, but when a girl looks like you, it's not pretty. It's wrong."
She was full-on sobbing now.
And Cristiano realized he'd said exactly the wrong thing. Comparing her to Georgina, making beauty the standard, making her worth tied to looking like someone else. He'd just reinforced everything those comments had told her. That she wasn't enough as herself. That she needed to be more like her mother to be valuable. "Alana, I didn't mean," but she wasn't listening anymore. She ran to her bed and buried her face in her pillow. Cristiano sat on the edge of the bed, feeling helpless. He'd faced the biggest challenges in football, the most intense pressure, the hardest opponents. But this? A conversation with his 7-year-old daughter about beauty and self-worth? He had no idea what to do. Georgina appeared in the doorway. "What's going on?" "I heard crying." Cristiano looked at her with desperate eyes. "I need your help. I'm messing this up." Georgina came in, saw the makeup on the floor, saw Alana crying, and understood immediately. She sat on the other side of the bed and rubbed Alana's back. "Baby, talk to me. What happened?" Through sobs, Alana explained. The comments, the makeup, feeling not pretty enough, not good enough, and how Papa had made it worse by comparing her to Mama. Georgina shot Cristiano a look that said, "We need to talk about this later," but turned her focus to Alana. "Sweetheart, listen to me. The people leaving mean comments are sad. Broken people who hurt others to feel better about themselves.
They don't know you.
They don't know how kind you are,
How smart you are.
how funny you are. But they know what I look like," Alana mumbled into her pillow. "And they say I'm ugly." Georgina's voice was firm. "You're not ugly. Not even close. But more importantly, being pretty is not the most important thing about you."
Do you understand that?
Alana lifted her head. "But everyone treats pretty girls better. At school. On TV. In Papa's pictures. Pretty girls get more likes. More love. More everything." The words came from a 7-year-old, but held the weight of a lifetime of observation. She'd already learned the lesson society teaches girls. Your value is in your appearance. Be pretty. Be pleasing. Be perfect. And if you're not, you're less than. Georgina looked at Cristiano. This wasn't something she could fix alone. This needed both parents. Together. "Alana," Cristiano said softly, "can I tell you something?" She looked at him with suspicious, teary eyes.
What?
He took a breath. "I was wrong.
What I said before.
Comparing you to your mother. That was wrong. You don't need to look like anyone else. You're perfect as you are. She shook her head. No, I'm not. You're just saying that. Cristiano realized he needed to be more honest, more vulnerable, more real. You're right. I've been saying it without making you believe it.
And that's my fault.
But, Alana, can I tell you something I've never told anyone? She nodded slowly. When I was young, I hated how I looked. I had crooked teeth, big ears. I was skinny. Kids made fun of me, said I looked weird, and I believed them. Spent years thinking I was ugly, that I wasn't good enough. Alana looked surprised. Really? But Papa, you're famous. You're on magazine covers. Everyone says you're handsome.
Cristiano smiled sadly. Now, yes.
But it took me until I was in my 20s to believe that. And you know what I realized? The people who said I was ugly, they were wrong.
But I wasted so much time believing them,
wishing I looked different. And I don't want you to waste your childhood like that. But the comments, Alana started. Cristiano stopped her gently. The comments are from people who don't matter. People who don't know you, don't love you,
don't care about you.
Why are you giving them power over how you feel about yourself? Alana thought about it. Because there are so many of them. If one person says something mean, it's easy to ignore. But thousands?
Millions?
How can they all be wrong? It was a fair question, an intelligent question. And Cristiano needed a better answer than just ignore them. Because that wasn't working. His daughter was standing in front of a mirror at 7 years old, trying to make herself prettier for strangers on the internet. This needed a real solution. Not platitudes. Not empty reassurances.
Real change.
But what? Cristiano looked at Georgina, hoping she had answers. She shook her head slightly. She was as lost as he was. What happened next would change how the entire Ronaldo family used social media. And how they talked about beauty, worth, and self-love. Georgina pulled Alana into her lap. Baby, can I tell you a secret? Something I've never told anyone publicly? Alana nodded, curious. Georgina took a breath. When I met your papa, I was working at a Gucci store. I was 22 years old, and I thought I was ugly. I looked at models in magazines and thought I'd never be pretty like them. Never be good enough. I had insecurities about my nose, my smile, my body, everything. Alana looked shocked. But Mama, everyone says you're so beautiful. Georgina smiled sadly.
Now, yes.
But that's because I'm with your father. Because I'm in fancy dresses at events. Because professional makeup artists and photographers make me look perfect. But Alana, that's not real.
That's not who I actually am.
The real me has messy hair in the morning, has days where I feel ugly, has insecurities just like you. She turned Alana to face her. And here's what I've learned. Beauty isn't about looking perfect. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin. It's about knowing your worth isn't in your appearance. It's in your heart, your kindness, your intelligence, your humor, your love. Those are the things that make you beautiful. Not your nose or your hair or your dress size. Alana looked unconvinced. But Papa fell in love with you because you're pretty, right? Georgina glanced at Cristiano, giving him a chance to answer. He cleared his throat. Actually, no. I mean, yes, your mother is beautiful, but that's not why I fell in love with her. Alana looked confused. Then why? Cristiano thought carefully. I fell in love with your mother because she was kind to me when she didn't have to be. Because she made me laugh. Because she saw me, Cristiano the person, not Ronaldo the footballer. Because she was genuine.
Real.
Because when I talked to her, I felt seen. Understood. That's what made me fall in love. The pretty part? That's just a bonus. But would you have talked to her if she wasn't pretty? Alana asked, cutting to the heart of the issue.
Cristiano paused.
Honesty was important here. Probably not initially. I'll be honest. Physical attraction is part of it. But Alana, here's what you need to understand. There are millions of pretty girls in the world.
Millions.
But your mother is the only one I love. Because it's not about being the prettiest. It's about being the right person. The person whose heart matches yours. Alana processed this. So, being pretty helps?
Cristiano sighed. Yes.
In some ways. The world is unfair like that. Pretty people do get treated better, sometimes. But baby, here's the thing. You're pretty. You're beautiful. But even if you weren't, you'd still be valuable. Still be worthy of love. Still be important. Your prettiness is the least interesting thing about you. What's the most interesting thing about me? Alana asked quietly.
Cristiano smiled.
That you're kind. That you help your little brothers and sisters. That you love animals. That you draw beautiful pictures. That you make me laugh. That you ask big questions. That you care about people's feelings. Those things make you special. Those things make you you. And that's so much better than being pretty. Georgina added, Alana, when you're old like Mama and Papa, being pretty won't matter anymore. We'll all get old, wrinkled,
Gray.
lose our looks. But kindness, intelligence, humor, love, those things last forever. Those are the things that really matter. And those are the things we want you to focus on. Alana looked between her parents. But the comments, they don't say anything about if I'm kind or smart. They only talk about how I look. How do I make them stop? And that was the real question. How do you protect a child from the cruel, shallow world of social media? How do you shield them from strangers who feel entitled to comment on a 7-year-old's appearance? Cristiano made a decision in that moment. A decision that would shock his team, his sponsors, and his millions of followers. Alana, I'm going to do something. Starting tomorrow. But I need you to understand why. Can you listen? She nodded. He continued, I'm going to stop posting pictures of you and your siblings on social media. No more family photos. No more updates about you. Nothing. Because, you're right. The comments are cruel. And I've been exposing you to that cruelty by sharing your life with strangers.
I'm sorry.
I should have protected you better. Alana's eyes widened. Really? But Papa, your fans love seeing us. Cristiano shook his head. They don't love you. They don't know you. They love an idea of you. A curated, perfect version that doesn't exist. And it's not fair to you. You're not a character in my story. You're a real person with real feelings. And those feelings matter more than likes and comments and engagement. Georgina looked surprised but supportive. Are you sure? Your team won't like this. Your sponsors. Cristiano cut her off. I don't care. Our daughter is crying because strangers on the internet say she's not pretty enough. That's not okay. And I'm not going to keep feeding content to those people. My children's privacy and mental health are more important than my social media engagement. Alana looked at her father with something like awe. You'd really do that? For me? Cristiano pulled her into a tight hug. For you, I'd do anything. You are more important than football. More important than fame. More important than anything. And if taking you off social media protects you, then that's what we're doing. No question. But what Cristiano did the next day would create an even bigger statement. One that would go viral for all the right reasons. August 23rd, 2024. Morning. Cristiano sat in his office, staring at his phone. 600 million followers across all platforms. The most followed person on Instagram. Every post got millions of likes. Hundreds of thousands of comments. Brands paid him millions for a single sponsored post. His social media presence was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And he was about to potentially damage all of that. But as he thought about Alana crying in front of the mirror, trying to make herself prettier for strangers, the decision was easy. Money didn't matter. Followers didn't matter. His daughter mattered. He opened Instagram and started typing. Not a curated message crafted by his PR team. Just words from his heart. The post was a photo. Not of his family. Just a black screen with white text. It read, Yesterday, I found my 7-year-old daughter crying. She was trying to put on makeup because strangers on the internet told her she wasn't pretty enough. Let that sink in. My 7-year-old baby was trying to change how she looked because thousands of people she's never met left cruel comments about her appearance. I've spent years sharing my family with you, posting photos of my children, giving you glimpses into our private life. I thought I was sharing joy, sharing love, sharing my blessings. But what I was actually doing was exposing my children to a world that judges them, criticizes them, and makes them feel inadequate. And I'm done. Starting today, I will no longer be posting photos of my children. They didn't choose this life. They didn't ask to be public figures. They deserve privacy. They deserve to grow up without thousands of strangers commenting on their appearance, their behavior, their worth. To everyone who has left kind comments about my family, thank you. Your words have meant a lot. But the kind comments don't erase the cruel ones. And my children only remember the cruel ones. So for their sake, their childhood ends here on social media. But I want to say something to every parent reading this. Stop commenting on children's appearances. Ever. Whether it's a celebrity's child or your neighbor's child. Stop telling little girls they're pretty as if that's their most important quality. Stop comparing siblings. Stop judging kids based on how they look.
Because those comments stick with them,
Shape them.
damage them.
And to my daughter, who I know will read this someday, you are beautiful. But more importantly, you are kind, smart, funny, creative, and loved. Your worth isn't in how you look. It's in who you are. And who you are is perfect. Don't ever let anyone make you feel different. From now on, this account is about football. That's it. My family is off limits. They're not content. They're not characters. They are real human beings who deserve privacy and respect. And I'm going to protect them the way I should have from the beginning. Thank you for understanding. And if you don't understand, that's okay too. My daughter's mental health is more important than your entertainment. He posted it. No warning to his team. No approval from sponsors. No strategy. Just truth. Within minutes, the post exploded. Within an hour, it had 50 million likes. Within 3 hours, it was trending worldwide. News outlets picked it up. Ronaldo quits posting about his family. Ronaldo's daughter bullied online. Ronaldo's powerful message about children and social media. But more importantly, it started a conversation. Parents everywhere shared their own stories. My daughter is 9 and already obsessed with how she looks because of Instagram. My son read cruel comments about himself and cried for days. I never thought about how my comments on other people's kids might affect them. The post became a cultural moment, a reckoning with how society treats children online. Celebrities started responding. Athletes, actors, musicians, all sharing similar experiences, all committing to protecting their children better. The hashtag protect the kids started trending. Instagram and other platforms were pressured to do more about bullying, especially bullying of children. But not everyone supported Cristiano's decision. His agent called. Furious. Do you know how much money you just cost us? Sponsors want family-friendly content. They pay for access to your personal life. Cristiano was calm. Then they can pay less. I don't care. My daughter's well-being isn't for sale. His agent sputtered. This is career suicide. You're alienating your fan base.
Cristiano left.
If my fan base wants to watch my children suffer for their entertainment, they're not fans. They're parasites. And I don't need them. He hung up. Within hours, 3 sponsors dropped him. Cost him roughly 15 million euros. But Cristiano didn't care. He'd give up every dollar he had if it meant protecting his children. What mattered more was what happened at home. That evening, Alana came to him with her tablet. Papa, I saw your post. Everyone at school was talking about it.
Cristiano vurgir.
Is that okay? Are you upset I wrote about what happened? She shook her head and threw her arms around him.
No.
I'm happy. Because now people know. Now maybe they'll stop being so mean. Cristiano hugged her tight. Baby, some people will still be mean. Mean people exist. But they won't be able to hurt you through my social media anymore. I'm going to protect you. I promise. Alana pulled back and looked at him seriously. Papa, can I ask you something? He nodded. Anything. She took a breath. The people who said mean things, do you think they're pretty? The question caught him off guard. What do you mean? Alana explained, like the people who said I'm ugly. Are they perfect? Are they the prettiest people in the world? Or are they regular people who just like being mean?
Cristiano thought about it.
I have no idea what they look like. They're just anonymous usernames. Could be anyone. Could look like anything. Alana processed this. So they're just random people who I'll never meet, who don't even use their real names. And I was upset because of what they said.
Cristiano smiled. Yes.
That's exactly right. You are giving power to ghosts, to nobodies, to people who don't even have the courage to show their own faces. A light bulb seemed to go off in Alana's head. That's silly. Why should I care what ghosts think?
Cristiano left.
You shouldn't. That's the point. Alana smiled. Her first real smile in days. Okay, I won't anymore. I'm going to be like Elsa. Cristiano was confused. Elsa? Alana sang quietly. Let it go, let it go. Cristiano laughed and joined in. They sang the Frozen song together, badly and off-key, and it was perfect. But the conversation wasn't over. There was still one more lesson Cristiano needed to teach his daughter. One that would define how she saw herself forever. The next day, Cristiano came home from training with a surprise. A large package. He called Alana into the living room. I got you something. She looked excited. What is it? He unveiled it. A beautiful full-length mirror. But not a regular mirror. This one had a frame with words carved into it. Alana read them out loud. I am kind. I am smart. I am strong. I am loved. I am enough. She looked at her father, confused. It's a mirror?
Cristiano nodded.
A special mirror. I'm going to put it in your room. And every morning, before you go to school, I want you to look in this mirror and read these words out loud. Can you do that for me? Alana shrugged. I guess. But why? Cristiano knelt down to her level. Because Alana, the mirror in your room right now, it's been lying to you. It's been showing you what you look like on the outside. But this mirror is going to remind you what you look like on the inside. And that's what really matters. So every morning, you're going to look at yourself and remember, you are kind. You are smart. You are strong. You are loved. You are enough. But what if I don't feel like those things? Alana asked quietly.
Cristiano smiled.
Then you say them anyway, even if you don't believe them yet. Because words have power. And if you tell yourself these things every day, eventually, you'll start to believe them. Eventually, they'll become your truth instead of what mean people on the internet say. They carried the mirror upstairs together and installed it in Alana's room, right next to her bed. The first thing she'd see every morning. Cristiano made her practice. Look in the mirror and read the words. Alana looked at her reflection and read, I am kind. I am smart. I am strong. I am loved. I am enough. Her voice was uncertain at first, but Cristiano encouraged her. Louder. Like you mean it. She tried again. I am kind. I am smart. I am strong. I am loved. I am enough. Better.
Cristiano smiled.
Perfect. Every morning. Promise me. Alana promised. And for the first week, Cristiano made sure to be there every morning, to hear her say the words, to reinforce them, to help her believe them. But he also realized he needed to do more. Because fixing Alana's self-image wasn't just about positive affirmations. It was about changing how he talked to her, how he interacted with her, what he valued in her. So, he made a new rule for himself. Never compliment Alana's appearance without also complimenting her character. If he said, you look pretty today, he had to follow it with, and I'm proud of how kind you were to your brother. If he said, I like your dress, he had to add, and I love how creative you are. He wanted her to understand that beauty was just one small part of who she was. Not the most important part. Not even close. He also started a new tradition. Every Sunday, the family would sit together and each person would say one thing they loved about themselves. Not appearance-based. Character-based. The first Sunday, Alana struggled. I don't know what I love about myself. Cristiano helped her. What's something you did this week that made you proud?
She thought about it.
I helped Eva with her homework.
Cristiano smiled.
That's something to love about yourself. You're helpful. You care about your sister. That's beautiful. Alana smiled. The next Sunday, she was ready. I love that I'm creative. The Sunday after that, I love that I make people laugh. Each week, she was learning to see herself beyond her reflection, learning to value things that actually mattered. Georgina joined in too. She started having real talk sessions with Alana.
No makeup. No fancy clothes.
Just sitting on the bed in pajamas talking about life, about beauty standards, about media, about how photos are edited, about how even Mama doesn't wake up looking like the woman in magazines. The woman in those photos isn't real, Georgina explained. She's created by makeup artists, photographers, editors. The real me has pimples sometimes, has bad hair days, has insecurities. And that's okay. That's normal. That's human. These conversations were slowly reshaping how Alana saw the world, how she saw herself. But the real test came 6 weeks later when something happened that put everything they'd taught her to the test. October 3rd, 2024. Alana came home from school and went straight to her room. Cristiano was home that day, recovering from a minor injury. He heard her door close. No usual chatter about her day, just silence. He waited 15 minutes, then knocked on her door. Alana? You okay? I'm fine, came the reply. But she didn't sound fine. Cristiano opened the door. Alana was sitting on her bed, looking at her special mirror. But she wasn't reading the words. She was just staring. What happened at school? Cristiano asked gently. Alana shrugged. Nothing. But her eyes told a different story. Cristiano sat next to her. You know you can tell me anything, right? She nodded. Then tell me, what happened? Alana took a shaky breath. There's a new girl at school. Isabella. She's really pretty. Like movie star pretty. Long blonde hair. Blue eyes. Perfect skin. And today at lunch, one of the boys said, Isabella is the prettiest girl in our grade. And all the other boys agreed. October 3rd, 2024. Alana came home from school and went straight to her room. Cristiano was home that day, recovering from a minor injury. He heard her door close. No usual chatter about her day, just silence. He waited 15 minutes, then knocked on her door. Alana? You okay? I'm fine, came the reply. But she didn't sound fine. Cristiano opened the door. Alana was sitting on her bed, looking at her special mirror. But she wasn't reading the words. She was just staring. What happened at school? Cristiano asked gently. Alana shrugged. Nothing. But her eyes told a different story. Cristiano sat next to her. You know you can tell me anything, right? She nodded. Then tell me, what happened? Alana took a shaky breath. There's a new girl at school. Isabella. She's really pretty. Like movie star pretty. Long blonde hair. Blue eyes. Perfect skin. And today at lunch, one of the boys said, Isabella is the prettiest girl in our grade. And all the other boys agreed.